Super Mario Galaxy. What is there to say about this game that hasn't already been said? It's widely hailed as one of the greatest games ever made, and for good reason. Ever since introducing the world to three-dimensional analog platforming in 1996, Nintendo had been hard-pressed to make a game that felt like a true sequel to the legendary Super Mario 64. To accomplish this, not only would they have to capture the sheer fun of the gameplay, not only would they have to bring about a new control scheme that felt fresh but fluid, but the magic one felt through exploring Peach's castle and discovering the many secrets within the wall's many living portraits as well. To put it simply, they would have to bottle lightning for a second time. But if anyone could do it, it'd be Nintendo. And a decade later, they accomplished just that with the release of 2007's Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Wii. Super Mario Galaxy is the kind of game that's hard to describe and near impossible to hate. Even for those who weren't the biggest fans of Mario's newfound ability to maneuver through the planets upside down, there's no denying it's one of the absolute best examples of what many could call Nintendo magic. But what is Nintendo magic? To me, it's that feeling of childlike wonder when you experience something truly special in a game for the first time. Something new, unexpected, and fun. Something that awakens a new yet familiar feeling, the embodiment of nostalgia, and yet something that sets a new standard and redefines what gameplay is all about. Games where I've experienced said magic include Pokemon Red, Banjo-Kazooie, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, Metroid Prime, etc. And while most mainline Nintendo games have a serious amount of polish and charm to them, not all of them are able to bottle that lightning the way the aforementioned games did for me. Take Super Mario 3D World for instance. It's a wonderful game that takes a hybrid approach of Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Galaxy, and New Super Mario Bros. Wii to its gameplay. And while the level design is definitely creative, the vibrant characters and worlds bursting with personality, it, for me, lacks that Nintendo magic. It comes so close. It's evident that the developers put their all into capturing it, but it falls just short of achieving that spark. Part of why that is could simply be that it's no easy task for any developer to achieve that kind of experience, even Nintendo. To reach that level of entertainment that provides that sort of sensation, it's almost like playing the lottery and hoping you get lucky. While talent and creativity are undoubtedly the most essential ingredients, luck too appears to be a significant factor. It's striking while the iron's hot, getting the right idea out at the right time and making it with the right people. I think it's safe to say that every man and woman that played a part in developing the masterpiece that is Super Mario Galaxy deserves a serious amount of credit for creating such a classic. But there are a key few that really deserve mention. Koichi Hayashida, for his ingenious direction of the level design. Kenta Motakura, for providing some of the most charming and interesting character designs in a Mario game to date. And of course, Koji Kondo for his brilliant compositions which brought life to Galaxy perhaps more than anything else. But today we'll be discussing the work of a certain other individual, one whose contribution I wish to highlight may seem in contrast to his work as overall director of the game. Yoshiaki Koizumi, the man behind one of the most, and arguably only, surprising and engaging stories in the Mario universe. I'm talking, of course, about Rosalina's Storybook. Tucked away in the Comet Observatory's cozy little library lies the completely optional storybook read by the Princess Rosalina. And the fact that it's completely optional only makes it even better. You see, Super Mario Galaxy is first and foremost about the gameplay. The impeccable level design, the stunning visuals, the freedom you feel leaping from planet to planet. It really is the quintessential gaming experience. The product of a group of game design wizards collaborating together to make something that looks and feels timeless. Had they made the story front and center the way so many games do nowadays, would have completely taken away from that experience. And so they stuck to the same simple plot the Mario formula tends to follow. But Koizumi felt there was something truly special about this galaxy and its most mysterious character. And so he worked late one night to finish what would become Rosalina's Storybook. The story begins with the little girl in the likeness of Rosalina, discovering a lost little star child named Luma, who claims to be waiting for his mama. The girl, selfless as ever, vows to wait with him until his mother returns. And the two wait until they decide to take matters into their own hands and seek out Luma's mama using the spaceship he arrived in. I mentioned Nintendo Magic earlier and how it strongly relates to nostalgia. Tell me, when you were young, were you ever read any old childhood fairy tales? The approach to this story strongly evokes memories of such, adding to that sensation of childlike wonder in ways few games do nowadays. Nintendo magic at work, present not only in Galaxy's ingenious level design or colorful worlds, but in its story as well, bottled with sweet, sweet nostalgia. The storybook, drawn in a pleasing crayon aesthetic, covers 9 chapters touching upon themes of sorrow, loss, and regret, but also responsibility, caring, and acceptance. Reading the book's entirety in one go, we learn more about Rosalina in the span of 15 minutes than we have for most of the Mushroom Kingdom's inhabitants over the past nearly 3 decades. The player learns to feel and care for a character in a universe known mostly for its simple tropes and otherwise empty husks of character depth. And needless to say, this only serves to make an already immaculate game even more fantastic. Collecting stars unlocks new chapters, incentivizing progression in a fun, creative, and relaxing way. The storybook gives the player a reason to carry on, but only if they so choose to become invested in it. And once the player gives it a chance, unlocking the fairy tale history of the Comet Observatory's host, it's hard not to. Buried carefully under the many layers that make up this work of gaming brilliance is something few would have ever expected out of a Mario game. A narrative with depth and character. A story that we as players can partake in as an aside from the core of the game. A tale we can get lost in and learn to appreciate a character that, at first glance, may have seemed a simple clone of a princess we've long known. This storybook allowed Rosalina to come to life as a character seldom before seen in a Mario game, perhaps even a Nintendo game period. And amidst all the obvious genius that Super Mario Galaxy conveys, having the chance to partake in that simple yet elegantly told fable, experiencing the rare sight of a Mario character's history being truly fleshed out, all while basking in the warm glow of nostalgia that comes from its immaculate fairy tale presentation, well, I'd have to say that Super Mario Galaxy truly is one of gaming's greatest.